The intensity is rising as the Philadelphia 76ers return home to host the Boston Celtics with the series all tied up. Coach Nick Nurse is under the spotlight as he evaluates the critical role of Adem Bona in the paint during this high-stakes postseason push. With the series shifting to Philadelphia, all eyes are on whether Bona can finally find his rhythm and start finishing those tough baskets under the rim.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Despite some early struggles on the court, Coach Nick Nurse remains firmly in Adem Bona's corner as they prepare for the pivotal Game 3. Nurse is actively breaking down game film with his big man to correct those missed opportunities and errant passes that have hampered his performance so far. It is all about those next steps for Bona as he looks to prove his worth, while the team manages the rotation without their superstar anchor. The biggest question of the playoffs has finally received an update. Joel Embiid has officially been listed as doubtful for Game 3 against the Boston Celtics. It is a stunning development considering he is just over 2 weeks removed from emergency appendectomy surgery on April 9. The fact that he was even on the floor participating in a partial practice session has the entire city buzzing about a potential miracle return. Even with that doubtful tag, the mere presence of Joel Embiid back in a team practice environment is a massive win for the Philadelphia 76ers. Coach Nick Nurse and the medical staff are monitoring his recovery hour by hour as he pushes his body to defy the typical timeline after his major procedure. Will he suit up and change the trajectory of this series? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss a second of the action. Ever wonder what it takes to survive in the NBA playoffs when your superstar is sidelined? That is the exact high-stakes reality facing the Philadelphia 76ers right now. After stealing a crucial Game 2 win against the Celtics, the momentum is finally shifting back to Philly, but there is a major problem: the void left by Joel Embiid. The spotlight has turned squarely onto rookie Adem Bona, and frankly, the early results have been, well, let's just say they are a work in progress. Looking at the stat sheet, it is easy to be a critic. Bona has struggled with his rhythm, shooting a combined 1 for 7 across the first 2 games. But if you listen to Nick Nurse, you get a much different perspective. Nurse isn't looking at the box score, he is looking at the intangibles. Despite the struggles, Bona managed a plus-minus of 0 in a brutal 32-point blowout in Game 1, a feat that is actually quite impressive for a rookie under that kind of pressure. Nurse admitted he wants to see more aggression, more rim-hanging authority, but he is quick to defend the kid. It is a classic case of a coach playing the long game, focusing on development while the pressure of a playoff series burns white-hot. Nurse is spending one-on-one time in the film room with Bona, working on those missed finishes and those unforced turnovers that have plagued his start. It is a mentorship moment in the middle of a war. As we head into Game 3, the question remains: can Bona find his groove before the window closes? Nurse seems confident, even telling the young big man that those dunks are going to start falling soon. If the Sixers want to keep this series lead, they need that optimism to turn into actual production. What do you think? Is Nurse being too patient, or is he exactly the kind of coach a young player needs to unlock his potential? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you are cheering for the underdog, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our breakdown of Game 3. Sometimes, it is the quiet growth of a role player that decides who gets to hoist the trophy. Ever wonder what it takes for a rookie to earn the trust of a championship-caliber coach when the stakes are at their absolute highest? The Philadelphia 76ers just pulled off a massive heist, stealing home court advantage in Boston. But as they head back to Philly, the spotlight is turning toward a surprising figure: Adem Bona. With Joel Embiid still sidelined, the burden on the frontcourt is immense, and frankly, Bona's stat sheet hasn't exactly been lighting up the arena. Scoring just 3 points on 1 for 7 shooting across 2 games is tough to watch, but here is where it gets interesting. Head coach Nick Nurse isn't hitting the panic button. In fact, he is strangely optimistic. Even in a crushing 30-point blowout in Game 1, Bona managed to finish with a plus-minus of 0. That's not just a stat. It's a sign that he's holding his own defensively when things are falling apart around him. Nurse pointed out that while he'd love to see Bona hanging on the rim with more authority, the young man is consistently putting himself in the right spots. Sure, he's fumbling a few passes, and the rim finishing hasn't clicked yet, but the raw athleticism is clearly there. It's all about the next step, that mental leap from a role player fighting for scraps to a reliable presence in the paint. Nurse is spending hours in the film room with him, pouring confidence into his game, and assuring him that those rim-rattling dunks are coming sooner than we think. As we look toward Game 3, the question isn't just about whether Bona can find his rhythm, but whether he can handle the pressure of being the stopgap in Philly's championship run. Do you think Bona has what it takes to break out, or is the learning curve just too steep for this stage of the playoffs? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button for more Sixers updates, and remember, sometimes the most important development happens in the quiet moments between the highlights. Is Joel Embiid actually human, or is he just made of pure, unadulterated grit? We are officially on 24-hour watch for Game 3 because the Sixers have listed their MVP as doubtful. And honestly, that might actually be great news. Think about it. We are talking about a guy who underwent an emergency appendectomy only 15 days ago. Most people are still struggling to walk comfortably after that surgery, yet here is Joel, already putting in work at practice. When the Sixers released that injury report, it felt like a jolt of electricity through the series. Nick Nurse says he's hopeful, which is coach speak for I really want him out there. Look, even if Embiid is at 60% capacity, his gravity on the floor changes everything. Have you seen the backup situation? We've seen enough missed layups to know that Philadelphia is desperate for any semblance of stability in the paint. If Embiid manages to suit up, it's going to go down as one of the most absurd injury recoveries in NBA history, right alongside his past battles with facial fractures and nerve damage. It's the kind of toughness that defines a playoff legend. If he takes the floor, don't expect him to be the scoring machine we know, but just having him standing there is a massive psychological win. What do you think? Is it worth the risk of re-injury to push through this, or should the Sixers play it safe? Drop your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on this wild series. Sometimes, the most important plays are the ones where a superstar just shows up. Could Joel Embiid pull off the ultimate playoff comeback? Just 2 weeks after an emergency appendectomy, the Philadelphia 76ers superstar is finally back on the floor, and the buzz in Philly is reaching a fever pitch. We're talking about an MVP candidate who underwent surgery on April 9th, yet here he is, participating in practice and inching toward a return in the high-stakes series against the Boston Celtics. Even though he's listed as doubtful for Game 3, the fact that he's doing basketball activities is a massive morale boost for a team that just snatched back momentum with a huge win in Boston. Head coach Nick Nurse is playing it smart, keeping expectations measured. He admits the recovery process has been a roller coaster. Some days are promising. Others require caution as the medical staff monitors how Embiid's body responds to the increased workload. Nurse put it perfectly. They're moving through the gears and waiting to see how he pulls up after every session. It's a delicate balancing act between the team's championship aspirations and the physical reality of major surgery. Let's be real, though. We've seen this script before. With Embiid's history of injury setbacks, from his oblique strains to those persistent knee issues that have plagued his career, there is always a layer of anxiety when he hits the injury report. But with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe holding down the fort and keeping the series competitive at 1-1, adding a healthy Embiid back into the mix completely changes the ceiling for this team. They become a legitimate nightmare for Boston. If he can get back on that court, it wouldn't just be a comeback, it would be a statement. Do you think the Sixers should rush him back, or is the risk just too high? Drop a comment below and let us know your take. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates as this series heats up. After all, in the NBA playoffs, the difference between a legend and a footnote is often just one game away.